I said, baby, can I talk to you for a moment? Seems like I'm really feeling kind of lonely. Yeah. No, I can't wait to see you again. Oh, baby, tired of looking back on all the mistakes. Being on my own ain't worth the heartache. Trying to find my way right back to you. Ooh, I would walk 1,000 miles just to get to you. Walk the oceans, cross the desert if you want me to. Ain't no mountain high or valley low. Your love's the only thing I know. Here I come, baby, right back to your loving arms. Oh, loving arms. Woo. I said, baby, 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 can't sleep without you here beside me. Woman, I need your love to guide me. You know how to ease my troubled mind. Oh, I said, lady, 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 lady. When you look at me, girl, I believe it. You never know it's love until you feel it. Gonna be with you till my dying day. Woo. I would walk 1,000 miles just to get to you. I walk 1,000 miles. Walk the oceans, cross the desert if you want me. Easy to get to you. Ain't no mountain high or valley low. Your love's the only thing I know. Here I come, baby. Here I come, baby. Right back to your loving arms. Should have told you before. I'll always love you. All my heart and soul. Yeah.
Hello. Oh my goodness, that song was scaring me just now. Wanna go, baby, right back to your loving arms. Yeah, man. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Women with welcome to GeesBeeCee Women with Words. Oh, that Panchakala song. Oh, let me drink some more water. So let me just start right there. Banja Carter is going to be in before I introduce myself. I don't want to just let it go. He's gonna be in concert on Friday evening, July 1st in Duluth, Georgia. Let me pull the flyer up. We're here at Women with Words GeesBeeCee. We're promoting Banja Carter. You can go to the Eventbrite. You will be able to purchase your ticket there. It is only for small $20. $20 that for. It's a Liberian artist. He's been singing for a while. He's a soul singer. He's calypso. He's R&B. He's country western. He's Liberian. We want to support him. We want to stand with him. We want to be able to just want him to know that we support him and we care for him. Banja Carter is also the son of the legend, the living legend, Miata family. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to GeesBeeCee Women with Words. We're here this evening again. Please invite somebody to come and watch this show. Make sure you come and watch it. I have a wife. A husband may join us. If not, the wife is here. She's skippable. Of course, welcome to GeesBeeCee with Words. I am Glendy Jane Juniors. This is the most important thing I love to do, and that is to call my name. So before we start the show, we come on every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We were off last week Thursday because we were celebrating Agatha 50th. I think that woman is I think she's just something else. We've been able to call she's made us call her name every day since last week Thursday. Some people have even called it for months. It's like, I'm going to Agatha party, I'm going to this, I'm going to that. But we're pretty sure we know that Agatha had a beautiful time. We were there, and we cannot forget about how unique her weekend was. So happy birthday again to Agatha. Everybody else celebrating birthday, we sing happy birthday. We know today that Sano is celebrating his birthday. Happy birthday to you, Sano. Welcome, everybody. If you haven't joined us before, we are a group of people from all walks of life. We have people from India, from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Togo, from Guinea, from America, from London, everywhere. We all gather at this page, GeesBeeCee Women with Words. We have lots of fun going through the day. We share anything and everything. What we don't do is when you come and you put us, whenever you come on the page and something is not what you like, not kosher to you, and you report us, then we have to bid you farewell. Then we have to say goodbye to you. But we have a lot of fun there. One of the reasons why we have this space is to be able to debrief, to have fun, but also to learn from other people's experiences. Not only that, we also have the show so that we can also learn from people, but also we can have a space where people can laugh and talk and see how people cope with different issues in society. We like to refer to ourselves as a group that's very fond of looking at social issues. We are an apolitical group. Outside of this platform, we are somewhat political. But once we hit GeesBeeCee, we're here GeesBeeCee, we're an apolitical group because we want to be welcoming and tolerant to everybody. So welcome. Our guest this evening is I'm going to bring the wife on, the most beautiful woman I think I've seen in a long time. She's a woman farm. I'm gonna bring Carolyn on. And before I bring Carolyn on, this is the last Thursday of us celebrating fathers. We took the entire month of June on GeesBeeCee to celebrate fathers, and this is the last day in this month, and it fell on a Thursday. And of course, we're saying to all of our fathers, we hope we celebrated you in a way that you appreciated it. We love you. We thank you for all that you do. Those of you who are stepping up to the place, even those who are trying to make a way to step up to the plate, we appreciate you. Whether you're single, married, divorced, looking, not looking, have someone, don't have someone, not there yet. Maybe I will get there, maybe I won't. Whatever category you find yourself in as a father, we've come this month to appreciate you. June is going. We're saying bye-bye, and we want to hope that we celebrated you. Agatha is, when AARP nearing you, I'm gonna mess with her. She's not here today again. When AARP is near your door, this is the thing. This is the thing about these AARP people. It's like they can just be waiting to see 50. Soon they see 50, then they start sending. The other day I was looking at my meals. I saw the AARP. All of a sudden I just got so annoyed with them. I said, like, seriously, who asked them to send me? Who asked them to send me? It's like, once I'm telling you, you don't even have to invite them. You don't even have to call those people. Once they know that you've hit 50, they will just start sending all those letters. So when you've partied hard, like how Agatha did this weekend, today I authorized a PTO day for her. I gave her a vacation day so she can rest because that woman got some lasting energy. Woo! And she has been, you see, she has been classified as the best dancer of the songs of the 80s. Michael Jackson ain't got nothing on her. Welcome, Carolyn. Let me bring Carolyn on. Welcome to GBC Women with Words. I could go on and on and on. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes, it's amazing. I've always looked forward to talking to you on live or having an opportunity. So there's like 2 or 3 women that I want to be able to have an opportunity. You're one. Also, sis Pauline and is another woman that I would love to just sit and just chat and talk with her. So welcome. This is your first time here. From all of us, from Eva, Agatha, and Michael, we say we appreciate the fact that you've come to close the month of June with us and to appreciate fathers. Carolyn's husband was going to join us. I guess he's still trying, but he got stuck at work. The man I beat me. So the man I boss man. When
That
people
my boss.
like when the l'agent calls, he comes to come listen to GBC. That GBC where I will come there back. But on a serious note, I really wanted us to talk as I've watched this couple from the sidelines. I've also had an opportunity to be at a function with them, and I seen them, and I said, what better way to close the month than to have Carolyn and her husband join us today? But truly, this woman can represent. So, welcome, Carolyn. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you so much for having me. Um, I'm glad to be here. I couldn't have said no, even if I tried to.
Yes, no, was not it.
No was not an option for me, especially when it comes to you. I just feel people that you can't say no to, and you are one of those.
Feeling so
Um,
special in love.
yes, you are one of those. So, I've known you not that long, but it's
Mhm.
been like I've known you forever, you know.
Yes,
So, the love, the relationship, and everything else that happened in between off of Facebook is just our relationship is not just Facebook, but it is off of
yeah,
Facebook, and I appreciate that from you. Just taking, I think it all started doing just Sam. That's
yes.
when this whole relationship started, and it has
Yeah,
gone.
we connected to Justin, and then we went to political stuff with Dylan, and then
Yes,
we're still
exactly.
we're still connected again. But I tell you something, there's something important that you've said, and I always like to touch on that. Sometimes it doesn't matter how long you've known someone,
Mhm.
it's how that person that you've gotten to know complements your life. And knowing you has complemented my life in so many ways with the things that you're involved in. And I can tell you all, let me just say about Carolyn, sometimes if she doesn't hear from me like a week, she'll send a text. She's always calling. She calls me more than I call her. But I just know that there's some people that you connect with. You may not have done anything for them, or they may not have done anything significant for you, but the way they treat you makes you feel so special, and you're one of those people that I've met probably in the last 3 or 4 years, that our relationship is now off Facebook. We're connected, we talk, and she's a strong supporter of everything I do, and I hope I am the same to her. But so when you're looking at relationships and you're looking at friendship, try not to look at, oh, I've known this person so long.
Mhm.
We always make that mistake. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
I knew this person so long. But if you've known someone for more than 10 years, and your knowing them have not complemented your life, or they're not able to be bold enough to say when you've done wrong, or you can say the same to them, then you need to revamp it. I want to ask you a question that I asked the last time before Caroline introduces herself, just because we're talking also about relationship.
Mhm.
How would you describe, what would you define a friend as?
Hmm. A friend, oh my gosh, there's so many things that goes into friendship. Um, and for some of us that are easily to that we easily people, we take onto people. I look for that loyalty in someone. I look for someone that will value themselves, because if you value yourself, then you will be able to value me. That's what I look for in a friend. And it's not necessarily what you do for me, but it's how we value each other.
Yes.
Value and respect for me goes a long way, and when I meet people, I look for not just today. I try to build relationship, you know. So that's because I understand growing up, my mother, the relationship that she built over the years was, that relationship got us to where, we are today.
Mhm.
So I always look, when I meet people, I always look for opportunity to grow, to learn, and to build a long-term relationship, not just for today. That I have some people that just meet today. We see out there, hello, hello, how you doing? But when I call you my close friend or a sister, then you have a special place in my heart, and I value you for who you are, and not just because of what we give to each other, but it's you being you. I don't like people to just try to impress. I just want you to be you.
Yes.
Just
Just
be
be yourself. Be
yourself. The
authentic. Yes.
uniqueness
Be
that
authentic.
God has made you to be you. And
Yes.
we'll go from there. So yeah.
Yes. So that's I mean I share the same views that you have about who a friend is. For me, I just put in short someone who complements my life, compliment not only the good times but bad time. I see our boss is here. I'm gonna welcome him. Yes, sir.
Look at my king. Oh
I
my
know.
goodness.
Hello King from Glenn and Lola.
Good, good. You can hear me?
Yes, we can
Yes.
hear you.
Good morning, good afternoon to your viewers, wherever they're viewing from. It's a pleasure to be here.
Why you
Uh,
be sexy so now?
we
Well,
you better
Lola,
let the
we can hear
moderator
all
to
you.
do her show. We plan to do this together, but Uncle Sam
I
told it otherwise,
know.
and I'm stuck at work. But I'm so glad to be here.
We
Good to meet
understand.
you. Been hearing a lot about you. Good to be here, and let the topic flow because I know the audience are listening, so they can enjoy while we're here.
No, they knew
But
you
I'm
were
glad to
coming.
be here.
Yeah, and thank you so much. I feel so honored to have you and Carolyn here for the, like I said when she was here, for the month of June, the entire month we dedicated the show to celebrating fathers. And so what better way to end it than to have a dad and a mom here? There's so many things, there are juicy things about your life that I'm gonna delve into.
Oh wow. Okay. Well,
So
the introduction is putting pressure on me, so let me get comfortable.
yes, you're gonna be okay. So I want now that you've joined us, I want you to introduce your wife to us. And I'm gonna ask Carolyn to do the same thing to introduce her husband. If someone
Ooh.
were to ask you who is your wife, and they say, tell us about your wife, what would you tell? What I want you to tell us how you're gonna tell us about Carolyn.
So basically, you want me to tell you about your guest that you invited,
Mhm.
who happens to be the one that shared my room with me, my roommate,
Yes.
and my 13 years going on life partner. The thing I will say about Caroline, I've watched these uh, uh, shows like Family Feud, and they got a lot of questions. They ask you what type of instrument you think your wife is. I can describe her to be a lot of instrument, including a driller. She can drill,
Yes.
and what I mean by that is she will get the best out of you. And I say so. And on a more serious note, if I look at 13 years, the type of life impact that we've made together and the
the type of improvements that we make individually, corporately, and even with the ministry that God has given us, is because you got to have that person who will bring it out of you. You know, there is something about what we become that we don't know, but it takes an environment and a life partner like Caroline to bring it out of you. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
This is someone who will push you until you can do your best. So, what can I say? The better half of me, uh, uh, someone who is a go-getter, someone who knows what they want. It wasn't difficult for our vision to match because some of the things that we will be discussing here today, I don't know if I would have done the things I'm doing today if it were in a different world,
Oh
you
wow.
know, or if it were with a different person. It's because I have become my best today, and I say so
Woo!
because
Well, stop. Let me
I
clap
got
for that.
friends.
Woo!
I got friends who we grew up together. We were born together long before I met Caroline, and then if they're listening today, they know they can tell that the last 13 years have been the best, and the next 50 years will even be better. So I
Amen.
can tell you that's the cool guest we have today, who happens to be lucky me, my Lulu, and my wife.
Yeah, Lolo. Thank you so much. That is so amazing. Complimenting the relationship, complimenting your life, the difference that 13 years has made that people can just look at you all. Let me tell you, sometimes people see things and say, oh, the people that they can just show off. But you can look from my eyes, from my lenses on the side, and marriage is not perfect. But looking your when you see from what I've seen, our brief interaction in Texas, it's authentic. Your relationship is so authentic to the eye. Of course, Caroline, you're her king, and she's the Lolo. So please introduce your king to us, Lolo.
Oh my God. Okay, I gotta buy. In the morning when I have my lashes on, I just look at him like.
I know, right? You gotta do it like this. Right?
So anyway, man, you should not let me go first because I'm blushing now.
That's okay.
I remember when you came to Texas, I think you "Hmm, if you're not married, don't come near Carolyn or husband."
That's what I said. That's exactly
and
what
then
I said.
and then his aunties and some of my friends are like, if you're not married, don't come near Carolyn or husband because you go and find a man.
I know, right? I know.
But no, I just want to, this is my king. I call him my king. He is my king in the palace. He's the father to my children. He's strong. He's hardworking, very supportive of me. And okay, and sorry, he's at work. He probably
That's
got
okay.
patients calling him. Um, he is the one that I feel safe with. I feel very, very safe with him. And sometimes he say he loved me more than me. I say, yeah, we're good at that. So at least I can, this relationship can last. But no, he's the one that's in the background, always trying to make me shine out there, trying to make sure my voice is heard. He's my God first, of course, in everything that we do. But he's the rock that I stand on every day. So yeah, he's my friend.
Good.
We fuss, we fight, we laugh, we joke. Sometimes in our house, our children will make a little thing, and you see we have like a community night or whatever. So he's somebody that I'm free with.
That's
Yeah.
good.
So,
Yeah, free spirit. So
mhm.
it's like you don't have to be something else at home and something
Mm-mm.
else out there. You just have to be you.
Yep. And that's how it's been from day one. When we first met, the first time we spoke for over 8 hours. It was like we've known each other forever. And he proposed the same night. And I told him everything about me. He told me everything about himself. And we were just talking and talking and talking. I was like, what you see is what you get. So, and he allowed me to be who I am. So, yeah.
So I want to go into your work. I know that you're a nurse. I know your husband is an administrator of a nursing home. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I want to know how the two of you met. I hope you are not working with your boss and started loving to your boss.
Oh my gosh, that is
Because this is the thing. I mean, folks, if you're just joining us, let me speak to our audience. If you're just joining us, this is GeesBeeCee Women with Words. We have Carolyn and her husband Tom on today. We're appreciating fathers, but we also want to. There are some things that they do so well out there that we see, and we want them to be able to share some of those things so that we can learn from them. So me being a nurse, I just asked, knowing that her husband also is in the healthcare business. He's an administrator. So when you see that there's an administrator, and then there's a nurse, something clicks somewhere.
No. Actually,
okay. So clear the air so I can be okay about that.
let me just clear the air today. Actually, when I met my husband, he wasn't anywhere close to healthcare.
Wow. That's part of the 13 days success he's talking about.
Exactly. He was nowhere near healthcare. When I first met this man, he was an accountant. He worked especially with insurance in Maryland. He was actually out of state. His was the one that introduced us. She called me one time, like, you have a boyfriend, you have a husband? And I said, no. I didn't even know this lady like that. I've been in Texas. She just sees me every now and then. That's why sometimes your character matters. And
Yes.
because you don't know who's looking at you. So, and she's one of the prominent person in this community. She's been here for like 30, 40 some years. And she called, the call came and she's like, you got a boyfriend, you got a husband? Are you somebody serious? And I was like, no, but who is this? Okay, if you're not seeing anybody, say, like, I'm my nephew, he's my favorite nephew, his name is Thomas, yes, his number, call him. And that's how I was like, what?
So you call him?
I call him. You need to come here.
She went straight to the Kolokwa. She said, I'm calling you.
I call you.
So I'm trying to help you and you call him?
I call him. At that time, I was working as an LVN, a licensed vocational nurse, and I was like, "Well, if your nephew needs a woman,
you see the Liberian women, you see us, Coming to that get a long bluffing story now. If he want me, let him call me.
Exactly. I think if you want me, get him my number. They see why you call me, he can call me too.
But let me tell you, that is so outdated, Carolyn. Women need to stop doing this. Maybe you may not have known him at the time, so it would have worked. But there are some people, some situations. I am one not for that thing where if you see a man, you like a man, you know the man like you, that you start doing this bluffing thing, it doesn't work. If you see somebody and you think the likeness is mutual, you think the person will not be offended by you saying you like the person, then why not? Why not tell them? But that's a topic for another day. Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, to cut long story short, he called. I think he called like 2 days after, and every time he called, I was busy. I was like, "Oh, I'll call you back." And I
bluff me too. Look at you.
I'll bluff you. The man was way in Maryland. I was here in Texas minding my own business. And then again too, I had just I was in coming out of a relationship, so I'm trying to process myself, get myself together, needed time and stuff like that. But it's so funny, before he even called me or before the auntie had called, I'm a strong believer, and I give everything to God. I was working with a friend and I wrote 5 things down on the paper because I've been through a whole lot of hurt and stuff like that. And I wrote 5 things on the paper. I told him, I said, Pastor Kwesi, I'm going to call him Maya Batchway. I said, Pastor Kwesi, I'm so hurt. I'm done with men and da-da-da. But
you don't know me again. You see me, let me now. I say I won't be virgin for life.
And if God ever decide to smile on me, these are the 5 things I want in a man. And I wrote those 5 things down, and he and I were working together, and I gave it to him. I gave it to Pastor Kosi, and we prayed about it. After a week, the phone call came, and then I was bluffing. I'm bluffing. I'm bluffing.
Yeah, see the like real woman, yeah. You said now that you get me, you're already putting you can make a be you in a depressed state. Somebody will kiss your cup in there, you bluffing and see trouble.
Exactly. Then you know what he did? Later on, the auntie was telling me, and he was telling me, he said, auntie, that your frisky girl there, I called her, she didn't want to pick up, she didn't want to. That what can I get you? What can I get when I get Frisco? Every time I call her, she busy, she going cook for her dad, she going to do this and anyway.
But look at you now. And
Yeah.
look at him now.
Yes.
See, look at you now. And it's a good thing. I think that auntie, because she probably just knew that you would be right for her nephew. So that's an amazing thing. That's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
So we clear the air. Carolyn is a nurse. Her husband is a nursing home administrator, but they were not loving and they were not working to the same place.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we cleared
So
that.
when we met, we started talking. And then he decided to quit his job. Hey, women with words, women got power. Women we got power. You don't know
Go
the
ahead,
power.
girl. Go ahead, girl. Talk to me.
Yeah.
So if you're out there, you're hearing the story, you're listening.
They were working, making good money as an accounting insurance agent. You say, when you get to Texas, let me tell you, when you get to Texas, actually after like 3-4 months, he bought my. I didn't tell his auntie, I didn't tell my mom, I didn't tell no one. He bought my ticket. He's like, I want to see you. I'm tired talking on the phone. So he bought my ticket. I went to Maryland. Guess where he took me in the first place?
Where?
Everyone impressed me. He took me to the White House.
Look at you.
He took me to the White House. And we just went for like sightseeing. Yeah, we drove from Maryland to Washington and pick up his daughter because he was once married before he had a daughter from that marriage. And we went sightseeing. I'm like, he picked me up from the airport. We went home. We ate. The next place we were at was Washington, D.C. at the White House. He's showing me this and showing me. I said, look at it all better when you want to impress me.
Look how impressed you with White House. But that's an amazing story. Now you touched a little bit on what some of the things I want to talk about. I know that you're coming from another marriage. You kind of hinted us on that. And he's also coming from another marriage. How long in between the time before you all met? It's like 1 year, 2 years. How long?
So I got my first divorce was in 2005.
Wow.
And we met in 2009.
Okay.
So it took
that was a long time.
Yep. I told you I was done.
That was a long time. And look at me here to tell you that long time. You need to now and I go straight to virgin mode.
Don't worry. When God send the right man, it will happen.
He's gonna come. He's gonna come. I know that. No rush. He's gonna come. Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to ask about is I know that you have a son from your first marriage, correct? And your husband has a daughter. So you meet. Prior to meeting your husband, did you have any? Prior to getting married, did you have any concerns on what your relationship with his daughter would have been, or what are some of the things that anything? Were you worried about building a relationship with the daughter? Because sometimes there's a connotation about stepmothers or stepfathers, and people like, people come into a relationship. It's like, how do you incorporate the children? Because what people need to think about is when you're getting into a relationship, it's not just you that's hurt. It's not that sometimes the kids don't show that they feel bad that their parents separate, but I'm sure that they go through their own difficult challenges. So you're there with your son and he's there with his daughter. And it's like, how do we bridge the gap? How do we incorporate these children into our lives and make it work?
So when we met, one of my stuff, my list that I have my paper was he it's okay for him to have a child because I have one. So I didn't want to be selfish. So
Mhm.
I have mentally prepared myself to accept that.
Beautiful.
And then I also, because I don't know where the immigration office is, I said, I don't want no man I will give people to.
They carry a hard woman. No wonder you call he is king, your king, because yeah, all your things listed, and he just fitted right in the category. He must be that king. Okay.
Yes. So
First
those
you
two.
bluffing him. It's like you
Mhm.
sitting there, you got nothing already. Something you telling God, I want it one. Oh. I want
God,
it one. I
God
don't
said
want
you
this
have to be
one. I want
specific.
it. Yes, yes, yes.
So I have mentally prepared my mind. Okay, when he come with a child, I will accept that child as my own because hey, I live with different people, aunties, uncles, so I'm used to that extended family, and I'm from a very big family. And I also told God the man that I want to marry has to be a family oriented person, somebody that would not be stuck up when my families or friends are around. And like you said, God just put everything on my lap. So when we first met, um, when I did the visit, I went. He didn't hide anything from me. He took me to the his daughter's mom came and met us because, of course, she wanted to know who her daughter going to be coming
Yeah.
to. So we met. Um,
But
and
looking at it, man. Let's see he going out. But looking at it, but he was already ready. Oh.
I'm telling you, the first night we spoke, when we finally spoke, when I finally gave him a listening ear, we spoke for 8 hours.
Jesus.
From I remember it was on a Friday night.
Coming to fall asleep. 8 hours. What are we talking about? So
It was on a Friday night, and we spoke from like 7 p.m. until maybe 4 a.m. in the morning. And the reason why we both got
Jesus.
off the phone because I had to be to work at six
Well, let
o'clock.
me just tell you, if you out there and you planning on coming to talk to me, when it reset it on that time to sleep, I'm not talking to you for 8 hours.
so so we just doing our wedding. Kind of difficult to for the mom to let the child come for the wedding because of course she's hurt.
Yeah,
They were married for what 12 years or so.
yeah.
um, and this is the relationship that all of his friends from back home know about.
Mhm.
So it was difficult, but as a mother, after the wedding and everything, I called her and I told her, I said, for the sake of the child, you and I need to build a relationship.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Yes, because it came a time, that was my husband's first child. Okay. And all of his little brothers had children before him. So he got a child very late. So she was using the child kind of against him to kind of, get at him. And then every time, the first couple of years of our marriage, it was really, bothering my husband. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to have this. I need to, call this woman and have a woman to woman talk. Because when
Woo.
he's not happy, he comes
You are
home,
not happy, yes.
nobody happy. And,
My
we,
people, you're listening to the woman. To those of you who's watching us, you see how this woman is selfless. That was a selfless thing that you did.
Mhm,
The fact that you were like, my husband is not happy, this is bothering him. What is it going to take for me to just extend a hand and say, let's be
yes,
friends?
yes, yeah.
Because the thing about you extending your hand is you're also bringing about peace in your home.
Mhm,
You're bringing about, you're making her mother feel comfortable so that the child also is relaxed to get
mhm,
to know you. That's important. It's like put yourself out of the relationship. There are a lot of people who have relationship, they have children outside marriages, and they don't want those kids to have relationship with their parents. You all
mhm,
need to stop that because the kids suffer.
mhm,
You have
yeah,
to put yourself out. So this is the thing. How can you love a man and not love his child?
exactly.
How
Yeah.
can you do that? So I think it was an amazing thing for you to do and say, look, I want this man, that my husband here.
Mm-hmm.
So when he's sad, I'm sad. So I'm going to extend the right hand and I'm going to reach out. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful,
And I
beautiful.
did, and I must give it to her.
Take
She,
out your mask.
oh, he's back. She expressed her concern, her disappointment, everything with me, and I didn't argue with her. I
Yes.
did not try to sound like I'm right.
Mhm.
I understood her hurt because I too came from a marriage. So I understood where she was coming from, even
Yes.
if I wasn't coming from another marriage. But I guess God just built me to where I'm always putting myself in other people's shoes. Like, how would I feel if this was happening to me? So when she talk and talk, I allow her to talk. When she talk and talk, I just apologized to her. I said, I understand where you're coming from, but for the sake of the child, let us be friends.
Beautiful.
Because at that time we've already had a child, and I told her, I said, they're going to know each other, they're going to want to meet each other. So that just start it off from now. So I want you to know me, so that when your daughter come, you will know who she coming to.
The woman I real Lolo. We can't hear you.
Yeah, so we know, and she was very
I said she
receptive.
into my business now, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
she into your business.
yeah, she was
She's
very
got, but
receptive.
she's told us some important things, and one of the things we touched about is the fact that you're coming from a divorce. She's coming
Yeah,
from a divorce, and
right.
that she was some of the mistakes that people make that were married before going to a relationship is like they don't want their husband or their wife to be connecting with their outside children. And I think that's a huge mistake to make because I think we're selfish when we do that because it's almost like we're only thinking about us. So when she's saying that, she extended her right hand to your daughter's mom to say, listen, we have to be friends. Because it's like it's almost like she wasn't just thinking about her and I. Well, it would be like, and then it will also mean that it would have meant that Tom would have been uncomfortable in the home also, and not this just says that you all had an open relationship to be able to talk things that you could do that. And so there's peace in the home. So when everybody coming in is seeing all of the children are also on the same level. And I think that's an amazing thing. That's something that we can learn from this relationship about having someone probably have their phone on or two devices. So I think that's something that's really I appreciate you sharing. So this is important because when we have couples come out here, I don't take it for a joke because it's almost like you're giving us access into your space.
Mhm.
And I appreciate the fact that you've done that. So I also saw Tom's on the phone, but I wanted to say to you also is like now you talk about his daughter. How were you able to connect your son to the daughter?
So when we met, my son was with my family in Minnesota. So the first thing that he did was, you have to go get your son. So he went with me, introduced himself to my family, and he took his son. From day one, Jeffrey has been his son until,
Yes.
like, they have more relationship than even me. So I allow him to be the father.
Yes.
I didn't, like, it wasn't where he can't discipline my son and then I step in and say, oh, you're not supposed to do that. No, I allow him to be the father to Jeffrey. And then he also allowed me to be the mother.
Beautiful.
So that's how we were able. And now our children, so we have Jeffrey named all the girls: Azaria, Alexi, and Abigail. Those are the three girls. And when you see those three girls, you would think they all three came from the same stomach because they all look just like him.
Yes, they do. The
And they
children do.
all three look, if the one, my stepdaughter, she, nobody, if I don't tell people she's my stepdaughter, people think that's my older daughter because she looks just like the kids. They all behave like the same. and everything. So again, I allow him to be the father. That's
I think
basically.
that's the
Mhm,
I think that's a really good thing. And sometimes it's difficult for people to do, but I think people need to be able to get to that point where the first thing is when you're leaving. So I'm divorced. And it took me a long time to get there. But one of the things I was concerned with for not getting divorced early was my children. How would
mhm,
they feel? And so, and it's almost like you have to be able to talk to them. This is
mhm,
where I am in life. This is what I want to do. And then they may not express to you how they're feeling, but
mhm.
the children do. They are hurt. Somebody, we probably need to go on mute or something. I don't know where the echo is coming from. But it's like people take for granted that because their children don't say how they feel, so they don't have feelings. They do. So I want to before we lose talk again, I wanted to ask you, coming from another relationship, and we heard about how you were on the woman here, you had her talking for 8 hours on the phone, talking what only God knows.
You know, this show, I hope you got time for this show today. This show can happen today because she will only give you her side of the story, right?
Yes, and she told
Yeah.
me she said she was bluffing you. Oh,
my one can have conversation. No.
I know, right? So I told her, I said, you dare somebody that introduces to the man, then you won't be wasting the man time for what he? What he wasting the man time for?
The part that I cannot prove to you in the audience, maybe they got some evidence out there. The part that I cannot prove is whether the things that you go through prior relationships, I don't know what effect they have on the success of your successful relationship or your current relationship. We can discuss that. I know we can learn lessons in life, but what I'm really trying to say is, can one marriage in any way set the stage for success for another marriage? I don't know that for sure, and that's not where I want to delve in today. What I really want to know that I'm sure of that made us to be who we are today, that other couples of our own little where we are in life are attracted to us. I'm not just talking about our many spiritual children and our younger brothers and sisters who may say, I take you as a mentor or role model. I'm talking about people either of our age or same kind of experience in life still get attracted to us, and the places we go and the lives that we touch out there in many places. The first and foremost thing that I can attribute that to is the fact that we have purpose in everything. If there's anyone listening, and if you're interested in relationship, you got to get that thing that called purpose. And that purpose is based on the fact that you guys gonna be equally yoked.
Yes.
Okay, you're gonna be equally yoked. You gotta know that you have the same means of seeking help. You know, you gotta be on the same level of wanting to. And I'm not talking about having a fat bank account. No, I mean that you know that you have the potential to know what you want. So it was easy for us because we're two opposites. We're two different people. I mean, she grew up on the west side. I grew up on the south central, you know. But purpose will tell you that although your upbringing can be different, although your background may be different, although you came from a different whatever country or tribe, purpose will bring you together and easily you will be agreeable.
Mhm.
So we were equally yoked. And, I must admit that our Christianity has something to do with it,
Yeah.
because that's what it was easy, because we attributed most of the foundation, the fundamental things that made us successful today was related to the fact that we had the same beliefs.
Yes.
So there were some things for me that was easy to let go because I trusted my wife that, we were thinking the same, and that there is in no way, according to the same belief she has, she was going to hurt me and my children. Okay, people become very protective, especially coming into a relationship with children, to just let go and hand over the other thing to the other person. But it presents insecurities, right? I have
Yes.
fears. I don't know whether I'll be able to cope with it if something goes wrong, if I'm called out. So the first thing that helped us was we were equally yoked. So definitely our purpose was easy to formulate. She was already made. I don't know how made I was, but we were made. We were into middle life. When it came to our professionalism and our career, a lot has happened in 13 years. We were both, working and doing well. So coming together, it shouldn't be difficult. People from, we met at the ages where we were fully mature. If you meeting when you are 17, 18, 20,
That's
21,
different.
there is a whole lot to put together. But why would I worry about how, what amount gets put into paying the bills? When I met the woman, she was already paying bills.
Yes. Woo!
I came into the relationship as an accountant. The bank account is on my phone. Why should I worry about money issues when she was already paying bills? So there are some things that you got to take risk with, and you got to try it. And I tried it, and within a short time, it was proven fact for me. Okay, but it was also based on the fact that we have purpose.
Yes.
So one of the things that made us successful is the fact that the major things were taken care of. The major things about faith were taken care of. We didn't argue much about that. And then, I know she tells you the story about my our kids. There was no question about who raised the children in my household. But I came in a marriage with an insecurity because I was very, very not believing that my wife Carolyn could put up with my daughter's mother because it was a really bitter divorce. But to my greatest surprise, what she told you is exactly what happened.
She's
I
an amazing
embrace
woman.
it. Oh yeah, I embrace it, and ever since then I didn't look back.
Good.
So if
Yeah,
that
because
woman
it
calls
brings
me,
so much to do that. It brings so much peace, so much
exactly,
comfort. And it's
exactly,
almost like you have to say, it's like, and one thing you said that I like is like, you're not 17, 18, you're adults. So
adults, yes.
what's wrong with taking the risk?
What's wrong with
If
taking
you
the
guys
risk?
are equally yoked, what's wrong with taking the risk?
They're taking the
If
risk
we
out there
like,
anyway.
yeah, we like the same things. So why not come together and do it? It's like, why are we stalling? But
Yeah.
some people, it just takes them a different time to do it. And to believe it or not, I talked to Caroline a little bit before we started the show, like a dry run, and I said to her, one of the things I wanted to talk about was the fact that whether your previous relationship play a role into you having a successful relationship. I know you said there's no proof. I want to think that it does. I think if you've been in a very hard relationship before or a very cold relationship before, and now you're coming with a driven purpose and you want this to work, and you see the woman that you met and you see your husband, you ain't coming to complain that you said, if I tried it one, I didn't want me to lead out one the last person.
But you
I'm
know,
a student. I'm a student, right? I'm a
Uh-huh,
student of research.
uh-huh.
Let me turn it around.
Okay.
The previous relationship was very successful. The other partner was better than you. The relationship broke because of you. Will you
Mhm.
say that is something that you take that also will contribute to your current relationship? Because you got to balance it. So when
Yes.
I mean to say the evidences, I'm looking at both ways, positive and negative. No,
Yes.
we do learn life lesson. It could be
Yes.
anywhere. It could be, it could maybe it was not a marriage. It could have been other relationship, but it could have been a mentor who taught you those lessons. It could have been
Yes.
parents that
Yes.
taught us those lessons. I guess what I was talking about was the individual in by themselves. Do they
Yes.
contribute to your current marriage? But
Yes.
yeah, no, the lessons learned they're valueless.
but
They uh-huh.
so when like this is actually when we first started, when we actually started talking that first night, there was something that my husband
That
said.
night, and that night that told me that you blew that woman
That
mind
night, I
What
mean
are you
that
when
night.
I
talking
saw
about? What are
it.
you talking about? I have been practicing the talking. I had not talked about for a long time. I haven't been on a date so long that
He
she
said
took it all that way.
I was just on here tonight.
I say layers upon layers. I'm telling you, I dumped it on her.
So the first thing he asked, he said, Before we go into this conversation, I'd like to ask you something. Are you looking for a boyfriend? I said no. Then I asked him, "Are you looking for a girlfriend?" He said no. Then he said, "Well, I'm not looking for a girlfriend. I'm looking for a wife."
There you go.
And
Straight
then I
forward
told him, I said, "Well, I'm not looking for a boyfriend. I'm looking for a husband."
so that Elena,
So
finish.
that's how the conversation started. He
You're
had
not
to
being
make sure
fair.
he cleared that out of the way before we can go deep into the conversation. Because again, I guess we both, maybe he was sitting down in Maryland and praying about it. Like I told you earlier, I gave my pastor friend the list and we pray about it. And so I was already like made up my mind.
You were ready.
And yeah, and when I
You
saw
know.
the
When
picture,
you know, you know. When
I
you
said,
know, you know.
they picture, yeah, they picture that time. They picture looking foul.
So let me just one of the things I wanted and we've, oh my goodness, folks, we've had a good time talking. We've learned a lot from the these people are so authentic. You all are so authentic. It just comes out naturally. I want to talk about when people get married, and if you are a daddy's girl, you want your husband to be a certain way. I mean, I don't know for Caroline or dad relationship, but just talking and looking and just being, maybe with my age comes wisdom, and just hearing from her that I see people who are daddy's girls, they tend to really love, taking care of their husbands. So I want to see how does your husband complement your dad? Are there things that Tom does that reminds you of your father, or are there things that you want him to do that you want him to do, but he doesn't do it, and he's not your father? How does that complement? Because I think what I'm gathering from you that you are a daddy's girl. Don't be looking at Tom as your dad.
I'm not going to have the same question, so that's good.
Yes, yes, I am a daddy's girl, and I'm the first for my dad and the only girl for my dad.
Oh, I see.
So I am a daddy's girl, and when I first met my husband, it's so amazing. For some reason, he kind of resemble my dad a little bit. He's very
And I am
hardworking.
daddy.
I know. He's very, very hardworking, and he's a family person, and that's what's in my dad that I love. My dad will make you feel comfortable, no matter who you are. No, this is the executive chef in the U.S. He worked for one of many biggest hotel you can think of in Arkansas and in Texas, but this man will bring himself down to anyone's level. He doesn't look at people as being little or not being equal to him. And see that trait in my husband. I saw it in him. And he's very humble because, back to the question, like if we met at work and stuff like that, like I said, he wasn't in the healthcare. So when we started dating and everything, he moved, we got married. He couldn't find a job Texas in accounting. And I told him, I said, okay, well, I'm working, so you might as well go ahead and be a doctor, because my husband is so smart. I mean, he just I am like, this man is so smart. He will read the encyclopedia and memorize it back and forth. So I said, go be a medical doctor. He's like, nah, I don't like that. I said, okay, go be a nurse. He said, nah. So that's how he transitioned from being an accountant to the health field. He 2011 he went to got his bachelor's in healthcare administration, and then 2015 16 2016 he went and got his master's in epidemiology.
Wow.
I told him, I said, why did you go do the course or the degree that I can't pronounce? So he did public
Oh
health.
wow.
He did his master
I
degree.
mean, you need to think about helping us in Liberia.
Yes,
Doing
he did
some
his
research work.
master degree in public health with emphasis in epidemiology. He's worked with Doctors Without Borders for some time. He even went to Sierra Leone and did a case study there and stuff like that. He was there for 6 months in the village, in the bush. Um, one key thing I want to just stress a little bit. I don't know how much time we have. As couple, what my husband and I always do, we always compliment each other. That my dad does that all the time. I don't care what it is. My husband loves to compliment. He always compliments, and then we see the value in each other. We see the potential in each other, because there will be some people that say, "Oh, you just working, and this man just going to school and getting degree and stuff." But I saw something else in my husband that I know when he do the work now, tomorrow I'm going to be home like I am now. Like right now, I can choose to go to work. I can choose to sleep and eat. You see, I have gained weight already because that's all I do: sleep, eat, and
And you see trouble with the woman you're looking at me and talking about she gain weight. And you see trouble.
and stuff. But because why we sacrifice, the both of us sacrifice. It wasn't like it's not competition in our house. No, in our house is never competition. We see, okay, honey, this sound okay. Go ahead and do this. Go ahead and do that, and we support each other. So when the time came for him to switch from accounting and he couldn't find a job and what have you and stuff like that, I was like, go ahead and go back to school. He didn't have to do it. Some other men would feel like, oh, she's trying to control me, she's trying to order me around and this and that. But no, he didn't do that, because I was there supporting him and he made it easy for me. The transition was easy. He went to school. He got 4.0. I'm like, how you gonna graduate with 4.0 from a master degree? Really?
The better book. So
I
let me
know.
before we lose him, and then we can just I'll just ask him one more question before, so that he can be able to go and focus. And the man has made a lot of sacrifice to be on here, speaks volume about who he is.
Mhm.
What are some of the things that you will say to couples or people who are trying to do it a second time around?
Hey, from the time you become of age and you're mature, before you even go into knowing what it means to be in a relationship, you, like I said, you have to know if marriage is your thing. Okay, if you're still out there trying your hands at it, then you haven't made up your mind.
Mhm.
The first thing that will make your marriage successful is your mind got to be made up to go into a relationship that leads to marriage. That's the first step. Okay, so if you're still in there guessing, you got to work on yourself first. So you cannot give up on love. You cannot give up on it. Okay, so the fact that you were pointed out there in one relationship does not have anything to do with the fact that you're supposed to be a happily married person. Okay, maybe you made a wrong decision. You didn't look the right way.
True.
Okay, maybe everything else was right, but it was never meant to be. So what I would tell anyone out there, you cannot give up on the institution. You cannot say, oh, well, I'm saying that other people live very happily single. If that's your own era, live single.
Mhm.
Okay. But if you know it's your thing, but you were sitting here today and you are my age and you haven't found Mr. Right or Miss Street right, it doesn't mean the time is not right, because it gets better in a lot of days. So you
Yeah.
can't give up on love.
Mhm.
You
Don't
cannot
give up
give up
on love.
because
Don't
let
give
me
up
tell
on
you,
love.
you can have one happy year and it can make up for all the scars you had in the 20 years.
I know, right? Let me just read one or two of the comments from one comment from Lucretia. Lucretia says, Carolyn, you are a real woman. The happiness of your husband was your concern. Once your husband is happy, the children are happier. Thanks for reaching out to her. So that's amazing. Before Tom leaves us, Carolyn, I just want you, because we're closing
Mhm.
um June, the month of June, and Tom is a dad. I want you to appreciate him as a father publicly.
Hmm. Hmm. All that plenty thing I be writing on Facebook, you ain't see it
We
yet.
want you look, want see him look at you and you say, "Let me be witness here."
Honey,
And the
sweet
air I want
honey,
talk to you, and the air I want
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, settle your phone on it too. Oh.
my king, the love of my life.
Oh,
I want to, on this special day, in our house, we don't wait for the date or the holiday before we can appreciate. Because, like,
it's
he
every
always
day.
say, every day is some appreciation. And we try to do our a day before or a week before. But you know what's up, honey. You know what's up. Um, for the many times that sometimes I frown at you, disciplining my girls, my children, it's out of love. And I just want to, yes, we are here talking about all the good things. I want people to not just look at us as, oh, we are so perfect. No, we have our ups
Up
and
and
downs.
down. Everyone does.
Um, but like he rightfully said, we when we have those moments, we find reason to come back together. We don't wait for outsider to come and judge our case. I can't. I don't even think we've ever had anyone to sit with us to judge any case between us. Why? Because we take it to God. And I had to learn the hard way because I was Miss Independent. I was like, I'm doing everything for myself. I don't need. And he had to break that wing. He's like, I'm the king in this palace.
There you go.
Okay. So
Let me
that,
do what I'm responsible to
yes,
do.
that wings got to break. And not break in a negative way, but acknowledge, because sometimes, like, as women, we try to be so Miss Independent and then we forget about our spouse. So the first couple of years of our marriage, I had to, like, work on myself and actually really, really trust this man and allow him, like I said, allow him to be him, to be the father, to be the husband, to be the leader for this house. So, and I still feel that way. I still give you your space. I still give your throne is your throne. Nobody will ever take that throne away from you. Your throne is your throne, honey. And I love the way you love me. I love the way you love our kids. I love the way you make me upset and I just push up my mouth and then you come by and be them you're still on inside.
You will got to yourself. But
You're
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tom. We appreciate you as a father out there, not only to your own children, but to many kids out there, a role model for so many people. I've learned some things from you all here this evening. I thank you for the relationship, Carolyn. Thank you for that. I know you all are busy people, healthcare people. It's
yeah.
not easy. Myself, are running through the lights to get home. But I want to say thank you for sharing this time with us today. You've touched on a lot of things that we will get you all back, because we don't only want to talk about the good times. And just talking to Tom, I think he's someone who that we can learn a lot from. He has a lot, not experience but wisdom. And I
Mm,
think I want us to look. I am hearing from him, and we're going to be probably in the month of October, we're going to be looking at marriages and dealing with conflicts.
mm,
So we want to be able to see at that time to bring you all back. So we want to hear about, when you're upset, what do you do? And what's important? How do you let go? And and think about the relationship, because some of us did not think about the children and us. We thought about the conflict. conflict came and overtook us. So how can we not allow our conflicts to break us apart? So, but that's
We have
something.
been blessed.
Yes.
We have been so blessed. We did some things blindly in the initial stages. All of that is because we were equally yoked. Like I'm saying, look, I can base upon that one point and just go. The fact that we trusted,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that we had the foundation was the same. So blindly we put, investments of our time, investment in the things that where we are here today, the children that we grew up with. Our son, before we open our poop, the man out of high school, the kind of man he has become. We invested those things blindly till today. The harvest is just kind of quickly reaping till
Yes.
some of the things that are happening around us, we didn't plan it. We did not purpose it, but it's just because we faithfully, invested our time blindly into the things that matter because we trusted each other. And just like you say, we were blessed to lead a whole ministry that we serve with. And we have part of the ministry called marriage enrichment. And
Yes.
my wife and I were leading and teaching for many years at a local
Wow.
church where we served. And I'm telling you, it was not younger couples. A lot of the couples are older than us. So it was either peer, mentoring, and also older folks. I don't know how they call that one with people that are older than you. But how can you stand in front of a group of your peers and tell them this is what making us to flourish? This is what will make you to go. No, what the conflict, that is really where your prosperity is, because what is on the inside of you will not come out unless difficult times will bring it out. If you haven't seen those difficult times, just live a little longer and you will see those things. Or then you don't want to be refined. You just want to be, stay in a little box, but until you start to see that challenges, you can overcome those challenges, then you don't have virtues. Okay.
Yes.
But the other thing, I had the equally yoke, but let me leave you with this quickly. The mutual respect is what my wife was talking about. Should be clearly defined. Look, my wife is a nurse. I'm into public health. Who say I don't know what Tylenol is? But do you know, just because she's a nurse, just because they call her nurse, I will go to her and say, what can Tylenol do?
Wow.
Now tell me I'm a pretender. Call me a pretender, yeah.
Good.
Let me be a pretender, but you got to know what the boundaries are, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You got
Yes.
to draw the lines. You got to have
Yes.
clear boundaries. My wife cannot challenge me on certain things. I cannot challenge my wife on certain things. Primarily because we're equally yoked, so I can trust her. Secondly, because we have mutual respect. The
Yes.
respect is there. And again, you got to do it with love, blindly. Like I said, the mutual respect is there. And so I know there are certain boundaries that, we try our best not to hit below the belt, because you're hurting yourself.
Mhm.
You're hurting yourself. You make the
Because
quiet.
one time I hit below the belt, and that night I felt it. Oh, I ain't get my little thing.
I know that what I told.
when you cross that part, then you just got to understand that
They said I had to be so about no more, baby.
you will learn. Yeah,
I said
we all
sorrow.
learn it. We all learn it the hard way, that we got to communicate about everything,
Yes.
Yes.
even the insecurities.
Yes.
You got to communicate about it.
Yes.
You
Have
got to
it open.
communicate
Talk
about
it
it.
all. Put it all on
Communicate
the
about
table.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, you draw those
Yeah.
lines. Those lines
There's
are
no
really, really
secret in
clear.
our house. No secret.
My wife has tried. God bless us. We're one of the best healthcare networks, and my wife has tried. We will discuss it. She will never work with a network I work with. It will not happen.
Good.
My bosses have tried their best to try to employ my wife. She will not come here. That's a
That's
boundary right there.
boundaries. That's
That's
boundaries.
boundaries.
Yes.
And it's not that I'm telling her it will not happen, will not happen. No. We have agreed. I have convinced her. We communicated about it. We talk about it. And we know very well why we cannot
Yes.
work in the same. We can be.
Now just say, now go to the place where you work here. Let me go
Yeah.
to my work.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
Your
the
era
way
is your era.
when I
Yes.
submit at home is for my own good.
There you go.
I cannot submit where I
That
am. It's
works.
logic here. Here is
Yes.
I'm looking at budget. You understand me?
Yep.
My
I got
wife
you.
is the boss in the house for many things. I cannot have another boss at my working place. It can't happen here.
Woo! On that note,
Yep. Yep.
that's a powerful statement there. Some people go into that blindly. They're working with their husband, and then every minute you'll be passing by the working place and passing by the working place. But what I don't want to inside there, stay home. Thank you so much. Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you, Tom. We've had a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Yes,
Look
ma'am.
forward to an invitation in October or whenever we're doing marriages. We'll bring you back on because we want to be able to help married people look at conflicts. We also, who were once married, want to learn from some of the mistakes that we made and how we can do it better if we're going to get into it again. So I appreciate you all taking your time from your business schedule. From Michael, Agatha, and Evo, and myself, thank you so much for being on GBC. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
See you
Have
all
a
again.
good night.
Thank you
Uh,
for having us. God
you're
bless you.
welcome. Thank you. Whew, that was good. That was a good conversation. So much to learn from them. Whew. That's all I'll say. Sometimes some of these things, some of these shows that we have, we find ourselves on the opposite side, me being divorced and hearing some of the things you said. Sometimes it puts you in a moment, you know. But it is what it is. Like I said on one day this week, I said, wherever you find yourself, whatever situation you find yourself in life, wherever you are at the quadrant of your life, you just have to learn to live with it. If you've made mistakes, then you have to learn from those mistakes. You can't pity yourself for whatever position you're in now. What you're in now, what you can do is whatever platform you're on, you can be able to learn from them and build up a better life for tomorrow. But sometimes when I talk, I'm human. And when I talk to married couples and then I think about it, it puts me in a mood and I think about some of the things I went through and some of the difficulties I had and some of the problems I had. And if I had done it this way, maybe it wouldn't have done that way. But it is what it is. So it was very good to have such a good couple on this evening talking to us, appreciating him as a dad. I appreciate them for coming on, appreciate their relationship, appreciate their family. So many thanks to all of you who's been watching. I'm not done. I have two more things to talk about and then we'll be done for the show. So let me just say, I want to remind you again, Banja Carter is going to be in concert on Friday in Duluth, Georgia. You can go to Eventbrite to purchase your ticket. It's just $20. We want to encourage you all to please go and support Banja Carter. Even if you're not there, he's a Liberian artist. He's been singing. He's trying to now do an album or trying to do a video so that his music can go all over the place. He's been doing mostly live music. Now he wants to put it into a video. So even if you're not living in Georgia, it's just $20. Just look at it as a donation, helping a brother. So we want to encourage you all to please do that. Next week guest is a young man from he's a Liberian from he's in London and he has a restaurant, a Liberian restaurant, Kawa's Cozy Garden. So we're going to British too next week, Thursday. We have the British guy here. Kawa will be here. James Kawa will be here next week. He'll be telling us all about his restaurant. As the owner of a Liberian restaurant in London, he'll be telling us what he sells, how he was able to make it, how he got there. We want to be able to give him an opportunity to come and talk to us. We want to promote him. This is what we do, people. We want to promote people. We want to learn. We want to have fun. We want to keep this space as relaxed as possible. So next week, Mr. James Mambokawa will be here. He has a restaurant in London, and I hear the guy can cook. So thank you all for watching. We've had a good evening today. Thank you for sticking around. On behalf of Agatha, Michael, Eva, and myself, we say see you next time. I'm going to close out the show this evening with a music, Loving Arms by Banja Carter. Go to Eventbrite, purchase your ticket. You're not going to be able to go to the show, but just support him. He's a Liberian brother. He's an artist. Support him, purchase one ticket so that he can be able to meet up with his goals. So until next time, I'll see you all.
I said, baby, can I talk to you for a moment? Seems like I'm really feeling kind of lonely. Yeah. No, I can't wait to see you again. Oh, baby, tired of looking back on all the mistakes. Being on my own ain't worth the heartache. Trying to find my way right back to you. Ooh, I would walk 1,000 miles just to get to you. Walk the oceans, cross the desert if you want me to. Ain't no mountain high or valley low. Your love's the only thing I know. Here I come, baby, right back to your loving arms.